Yes, my name is Deborah, and the MC number is 150578. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I put in an offer on that load from Laredo, Texas to Syracuse, New York for $4,900. You said it's showing for 43? Yeah, but the 15-day average right now is showing 4513. Drivers have been taking it for 4100. Okay, well, it's a hazmat load though. Okay, you meet me at 4489? Yeah, I'm not taking it for less than 4800.
I know this motherfucker ain't just hang up on me, man. I bet if I did the same to him, he definitely would have felt away. On to the next one. Don't know how you do it. The way I love you now, nobody go feel love you.
Hello, you guys. I'm super excited to do this video because this is my first time doing a video like this. You know, I feel like many of us as owner operators have our own negotiation tactics or different methods that we use to sustain our overall operations. I personally don't feel like there's a right or wrong way. I feel like personally, if you get into your own zone, staying in your own lane, you're going to figure out what is best suited for you, what makes you feel comfortable. So in this video, towards the end, I'll go over like 3 load boards that I've been using as of late. But first, someone sent me, I don't want to put your whole government out there because I don't know if you want your whole government out there, but Mr. Edwin sent me a GPS. And I'm so excited because it just brings joy to my heart. It's definitely the little things. It is. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me get to the video. I will look more into that later. So the first thing is first, number 1, know your worth. Know your worth, know your worth, know your worth. When I'm looking at all these loads, the first things I'm going to assess is the overall destination, the distance, the miles. You know, is it a short hop, a long hop? Is it going to be worth the amount? Is it like, does it add up, you know? So I'm looking at the miles, I'm looking at the rate, the overall location is important. Then I'm going to find out whether the commodity is something that I want to even haul. Is it hazmat? Is it not hazmat? Hazmats typically pay better, let's be real. Tanker type of items, they normally pay better. That's what it is. The other thing is the weight is something you want to take into a lot of consideration based off of your fuel. You know, how well does your truck pull on heavy loads? I avoid 40,000 pound loads unless it's like 300 miles or less. You know, short hops. If it's a short hop, I might do a 41,000, 42,000 maybe. But typically, I don't like heavy loads. I don't. So that's to each their own. Some people can pass it up, some people may not. The one thing I'm asking for, is it a DC? Everybody knows, for those who've been well rooted in this industry, DCs, distribution centers, take up so much of our time. It makes no sense. The agency, the reputability of the agency is the most important thing, because sometimes these brokering agencies may not pay what they were set out to pay. So you end up shooting yourself in the foot. And one of the resources or tools that they were using was Compass Funding Solutions. It literally lets you know whether you should be booking a load with this company or whether not, whether they're new, they're fresh, old, whatever. So Compass Funding Solutions is like grading brokers. Another thing is, off the DAT board, when it comes to these loads, you want to look at averages. I don't know how everyone does certain things, but people may take gender into consideration, but it's really how you sound. So how the conversation goes, right? When a person is, or when you're very sure of an amount that you want, let's say you could turn 4,500 into like 4,700, 4,800. Start off high, you know. So the load is paying how much? And you want to sound confident. You want to be secure within yourself. You want to know exactly and feel that securement within yourself, so they can like, okay, this person means business. They serious. They know what they're doing, you know. But brokers can tell. Brokers can tell if you're nervous, if you confused, they'll lowball you, especially if they sound or feel like you don't know what you're doing. And that's where a lot of us end up shooting ourselves in the foot, because we take loads that don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Why? To each their own now. If you don't need a lot to sustain your means, to each their own. But why take a load from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way to Seattle, Washington, for, as an owner operator, for $3,100? To some people that might make sense. To me, I ain't doing that, you know, because it's just, you got to factor in fuel. You have to factor in your overall physical, mental, spiritual, and health and everything, like all of that. You have to factor in, do you want to put your truck through all that strain, those inclines, those declines? You have to factor in all of that. I'm not doing that. If it's like 65, maybe 7 bands, we could do that, you know, but I'm not doing that. Some drivers are content with doing that. So that's why I say to each their own. Can't really judge someone else's situation, because $3,100 may be enough for another driver, for one driver, but not for someone else. So you want to take that into consideration. Listen to the overall tonality. If a broker's on the phone, like for instance, I'm on the phone with a broker and I'm like, I want to highball it. So I would be like, let me get it. I'll do it for $4,800 or something like that. Start off as your highest amount. The load is showing for like $4,500. They may meet you at like $4,650. Oh, maybe I could do like $47. It just depends on the broker, the agency, the weight, how bad or desperate that they need a driver. Take all those factors into consideration. But I'm telling you, loads that are like from Tennessee to, oh, let me use this one. Jamaica, Queens, New York to Philly, airport to airport. This load I negotiated was paying, I think it was $1,700. I think it was like $1,700, right? And personally, I was gonna take this load because it was a short hop, day trip, in and out. But those who are very familiar with the overall situation in New York, the airports, you will be held up. Why go through that on a Friday, Saturday type of transition or a deal? Why go through that? Unless you're from that area, you can go home, you can go chop it up with whoever you want to. But no one has time to be held up at an airport. So after I went back, I was like, nah, I'll do it for like 19. I said 2,000 at first. He was like, you know, it's only like 160 some odd miles with my dad and everything. I was like, nah, but you know, the traffic is so much. I got to worry about tolls. You have to sound compelling, right? You have to like feed your argument. You have to sell yourself. And not in that way, but you have to sell your goddamn argument to where it's like, okay, you're the driver that I need for this low type of thing. But all those factors you want to take into consideration, because these agents will be able to detect your BS on how you sound and how professional you really are about this. They want reliability, people they could depend on, you know, trucks that they can depend on. You can kind of sense, depending on how they sound or how they interact over the phone, on how well versed they are within their field. You can tell if somebody's new. You can tell if somebody's nervous. Normally that is like a depiction that someone is in some type of train of thought, or they're nervous about something, or they're like, you know, they're thinking about something. So try to insert something within that. So various things goes into picking a load, choosing your own rates. But I'm telling you, with these rates, don't take less than what you're worth. Don't settle unless you really want to. Then to each their own. But I'm telling you, truck drivers are needed. These people need us. So like, just get it how you live. For real, get it how you live. These people will play you, and you may not have no idea what they're doing, how they're doing it. Dispatchers some of these companies, some of these owner operating companies who just, they take from drivers, and drivers are so unaware. Accountability. I'm telling you, accountability is something that I learned in my late teenage, early 20s when it comes to taking accountability for our actions. Because if not, we sit there and just go through different trials and tribulations trying to pick ourselves up. So here's the rest of the video of what I want to show y'all. Thank y'all so much. Mr. E, thank you so much for my device. I appreciate it, for real. So make sure you get a copy of my book, Trucking is a Man's Job Says Who. Audiobook is coming soon. Do what you love what you do. Let it work best for you. And until the next, man, here's the rest of the video.
You'll come to find, or come to realize very quickly, people will match your energy. If they don't, skate. Simple. These are rates that I negotiated, and I'm super proud of, because like nobody's really telling me how to go about this. I just go based off of my gut, what my instincts are telling me. I don't mind doing hazmat. Some of these were definitely hazmat. Now, those who've been owner operating their whole life now, to each their own, how you negotiate. This was my highest one. Like I said, match your energy. The person on this low was so polite. And then there was another one. Polite, you know. This one, he didn't want to give me 3. It was like at 27, but he met me at 3. So yeah.
For those who are, I guess, less acquainted with the load boards, this one is the DAT board. Now, as far as the devices, the distinctions between the laptop, the phone, and the tablet, I honestly recommend doing it on the laptop, you know, but I've been doing it on my phone. I'll put in my destination. I'll look up into whether it's a van or just specifically hazmat or a tank and move from there, right? There's so many selections to choose from. So for right now, I'm just choose hazmat and tanker, right? My weight on this one, I was going to put in like 30,000 pounds. For today's date, the 17th, both partial and full, nothing came up for that area. No big deal. Put in another area, right? Of course, you'll put in the area that you're in, but we just messing around right now. I put in still Dayton, Ohio, and my deadhead could be like 200 miles or 100 miles, depending on your own preference. And this is what comes up. I'll go to the highest rate on the top right hand corner, and move just like that, you know. Once you tap on it, it'll show you the offer, it'll show you the 15-day average, the miles, all the details, but you won't get the full details once you really call, you know, the locations, what's the actual commodity, and all that extra stuff. So as we're scrolling down, you can decide whether you want to select something as you're interested in it or whether you're not. Some rates, I'm telling you, are too good to be true. So do not be fooled by these load boards, man, until you complete a phone call, until you get confirmation through an email or responding to your request. I absolutely like the DAT board because it's simple to use. I normally do use it on my phone. Here and there, I may do it on my laptop if I'm like have some downtime. But I love XPO Logistics. I like their loads. I do. So for the next one, I will look into Dolph. My bad. I was having some little technical issues. I don't know why, because the other ones were working. So it didn't even want to refresh at all. This one, I had Columbus, Ohio in it. I think I changed to Atlanta. Yeah, put it to Atlanta. The deadhead, your preference. 200, 100. Some people, they don't want to go more than 50 miles, but hey. So I like Dolph as well. I booked a couple of loads on Dolph, and it's really self-explanatory. It is. Dolph isn't bad, but my most used one is the DAT board. No lie. There's Convoy, there's CH Robinson, there's the JB Hunt board. There's so many boards. Trucker Path, I viewed quite a bit amount of loads on here too. I like this one because I'm able to place bids. It is straight like gambling, but I don't gamble. But I enjoy it because I have met, or some brokers have met my bids, which I'm so grateful for. This is where you'll be able to see the averages in terms of an expanded 7, 15, 30 days potentially. But some people don't like trucker path. I don't mind it. It hasn't given me any complications, and it is simple to use as well. Going into the van, the reefer, the flatbed, they all differ. I'm telling you, get in where you fit in. Do what's most comfortable for you. Don't be following the next person just because they make it look good. Don't do that. So as we're scrolling through, again, sometimes some of these rates be looking too good to be true. But I really do like being able to set bids on it. I was going indecisive on whether I wanted to put 51 or 49, so I ended up putting 49 anyway. It'll go through. You either get an email confirmation of, unfortunately, we're not able to meet your rate, or they'll work with you, either or. The deadhead on the hill be a lot, so I'm not with the deadhead for real at all. But yeah, I do like this one for real. I don't mind it. But one thing I feel like a lot of us end up being, or a lot of us end up avoiding, or not avoiding, a lot of us fail to realize how important it is to do like an overall analysis over like a time span of rates. I'm telling you, that's how you'll be able to better determine whether you're getting the right rate for your load, for real. Some people don't care because it may be time consuming for them, but do whatever you got to do to sustain your finances. Again, do what you love what you do. Let it work best for you, y'all, and stay safe until the next. Peace out. Bye.